Hello everyone, and do I have a story for you? Uh, so today's footage, it's just me killing a couple of squids, me going around to pretty much get ink sacs, because black dye is impossible to find unless you kill squids, and that's really annoying, because I need black dye from one of my current projects that I'm working on, so I'm gonna go kill some squids. Amazing plot, I know. But, so, today's story is kind of funny. I actually got a couple of stories and a few thoughts that I had in mind. But, the first story is, I was watching some of the new WarioWare game. And there was this game where you have to keep a ball in the air, and the longer you keep the ball in the air, the more points you get. And after watching that for like 20 minutes, I remembered something. If any of you know what Webkinz is, there was a game on Webkinz. Webkinz is basically a plush toy flash game, where if you buy a plush toy, you would get a pet in this flash game. And so it was really cool because, you bought something and you could quite literally play with your stuffed animal that you had bought. Now, the Webkinz had a bunch of flash games. They had a bunch of novelty things that you could do, a couple of daily things. It was just kind of a glorified mobile game before mobile games were in, so to speak. It was kind of just Clash of Clans, Monster Legends, Dragon City, stuff like that. But with Webkinz, with like plush toys, like a plush animal dog or a frog or a fish, stuff like that. And so there was this one flash game on there that was a lot like this WarioWare game I'm talking about, where you were a goalie in the game, and your goal was to keep the ball, like, from touching the ground as long as you possibly can. My brother and I got that game removed from Webkinz. I'm 100% sure. Because at the time that we were playing Webkinz, it was a while ago. I don't remember the year, I don't remember anything about it. But I remember doing it. And it was a while ago. So, we had a piece of garbage computer. Our computer was horrible. It's one of those things that you would see in like a 1980s movie, or in a scene with like an office. It was a box, it was like peach white, it was grotesque, the keyboard was all clanky and disgusting. It was old. And I ate some ice cream earlier, so now I'm like choking it up a bit. And so, since it was old, I couldn't really run games very well, which I didn't really care about because, I was like 4. I got to play games. So, we would play this game, and we would get to like 20, and then it would start lagging. And so, in order to keep the ball from falling, you had to click on the ball. What we did was, we just started clicking on the ball. Eventually, we got it into the corner of like where the box is. So what happened was our game kept lagging the higher number we went, and the more it lagged, the more we could click in a spot. The more we could click in a spot, the more our score went up. The more our score went up, the more we lagged. And so we literally got like our score into the millions in this shitty Webkinz flash game. And somehow it uploaded to the website, and I don't remember seeing my name, like my Webkinz toy or whatever it was, in the top percent, but I think that's actually when our computer died. But I'm pretty sure I'm single-handedly responsible for taking out an entire flash game, for breaking it, just because of a garbage computer and a lot of spare time. So another story, that was the first one. I'm just kind of throwing this episode together. I'm just talking about stories that I really won't have like another but like another time to talk about, so to speak. But one time I suffered a psychotic break. That was fun. I was playing a game known as Golf with Your Friends, and it's a very fun golf game. It's not very good, but that's part of the charm. It's not bad either, but it's a golf game, and golf is infuriating when you're competing, because if you mess up even the slightest bit, you might have just lost the whole game. And so in this game, it's really jank. So like, pretend you're going mini golfing, and you hit the putt, and then your ball just goes flying, and it goes out of the bounds, and it hits somebody. That's kind of just what this game is, in summary. It's just a bunch of what the heck? Why did that happen? Oh my god! I can't believe the corner bounced me like that. Stuff like that, and we were playing this for like 2 hours at that point, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was so funny because I kept messing up, and it kept like costing me, and it was like the slightest mistake cost me like 5 hits, which in golf is pretty huge because you want the score to be the lowest amount possible. So I kept losing and kept like laughing, and eventually I wasn't able to stop laughing. So I was just one time I tried to hit a putt, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was just so funny. Like, there was nothing I could have done in that course to win that course, to even like get below 12 strokes, because after 12 strokes you lose. And so I kept trying to like succeed, and I kept failing, and I kept laughing because it was just so funny. There was nothing I could do about it, so instead of getting frustrated, all you can really do is laugh. And for whatever reason, when I started laughing, I wasn't able to stop for like 2 hours. I made a Golf with Your Friends review on Steam, and I'll put it on screen so you can read it while I tell the rest of my story. But when I was laughing my ass off, my family came in, because from their perspective, I was like laughing straight for 2 hours, barely able to breathe. I was wheezing. I was in hysteria. And all I could do was laugh. Like I got infected with the Joker's laughing gas kind of deal. Or I've been mind controlled, or I've seen Cthulhu, or something like that. It was absolutely crazy. And I thought that in of itself was hilarious. So I kept laughing. And it's so funny to me, because I wasn't concerned. I was having the time of my life. I was laughing my ass off. That was the funniest thing I've seen and experienced in a while at that point. But it was so funny because my family just came into me laughing. And, you know, this kind of thing isn't that funny. But to me it is, because of the scenario in which we got to that point where I was laughing at a game not being very well developed. And my family came in, and they were concerned about me. They didn't know why I was laughing. They just knew that I was laughing hysterically, and I couldn't stop. They were genuinely concerned about me. They thought I had snapped. They thought I had broke. They thought I was gonna, like, become, like, a supervillain or some sort. And that's hilarious to me. Not because they were concerned, but because of the reason that they were concerned. Because I played a shitty game, thought it was funny, and I couldn't stop laughing at it. That was it. I wish I had recorded it so I had some footage, but you're just gonna have to like rely on my story and somebody else who you may ask or may not ask at some point in your life. It's just like, it's a super funny story to me. And yeah, that's like, those were the 2 stories I had planned. The other thing I wanted to talk about is comedy as a whole. And what I wanted to talk about is I really want to get into Rivals. I really want to get back into fighting games, and I want to grind out fighting games for like the season of fall, this upcoming season of fall. And by the time I'm done grinding them, you'll probably be finishing like the Let's Play, because of how I do things. I don't record this and then upload it. I record it, then upload it Friday, and then I have like 5 videos already set for Friday, but it's like every Friday. So I have like the next episode of my Let's Play, which is the previous one of this, is set for like next Friday. And then this one's going to be set for 2 Fridays from now. And stuff like that. So it's going to be a while until you see it. So by the time you see like the final episode of the season where I unveil my big old project that I've been working on for a while, you're going to see, or I'm going to be like, I'm already going to have my game grinded. There's nothing that like I can really show off aside from clips and highlights that I'm going to obviously get from my time grinding out the game. So I wanted to talk about, while I still can, my relationship with comedy and how becoming a lot more in tune with comedy has made me better at fighting games as a whole. because comedy and fighting games are surprisingly a lot alike in regards to misdirection. In fighting games, there's a thing called neutral. Neutral is the same exact thing as... and maybe not. Neutral is trying to put yourself into a position to attack your opponent without letting yourself get attacked by your opponent. And so in actual fights, you'll see them like square up with each other. You'll see them like fade in and out, do some feints, do some jabs, and then like one person will get a big hit. When they get that big hit, that is called punish game. Punish game is when you get that big hit and you're trying to capitalize it off of it to the best of your ability. Now when that one guy gets the big hit, the other guy's getting hit. And so his goal at that moment is to stop the punish game by any means necessary. That is called defensive game. In comedy, it's something similar. Because what I do is conversational comedy. I throw out a lot of one-liners, I throw out a lot of zingers. I catch people off guard. And in every conversation, my goal is to make things interesting. And, you know, that might be like having a philosophical discussion, asking questions that I find of intrigue, or just telling jokes. So, a lot of the time my brain's working like, how do I get this person off guard? Because when you're caught off guard, you will laugh. You will either laugh or you will do something else. You will find something more funny than if you already know what's going to happen. Like, for example, is your refrigerator running? Most people would say no. Because obviously if they say yes, the response is going to be, well, you better go catch it. But what misdirection is you ask somebody, is your refrigerator running? They say no. You respond with, oh, that's a shame. If it was, I would vote for it. Catch them off guard. It's kind of the same in fighting games. And by kinda, I mean it is. Because in fighting games, if you do the same thing every time, they're not going to be caught off guard. So they're going to start punishing you for, being predictable. Letting them allow themselves to maneuver into a place where they can easily beat you up. And catching them off guard, doing something that they weren't expecting, makes them adapt to it. But if you have already adapted to them being caught off guard, you can capitalize it off of it to get back into your punish game. And so, in essence, like, becoming better at learning neutral in comedy and conversation has helped me learn how to do neutral in fighting games. There was this time where I was, like, grinding out Smash Ultimate, and I wasn't serious about it because I don't really like the game, but a lot of my friends were playing it. And I was playing with this guy on Discord. I don't remember his name. I just remember he played Greninja. And we were playing. It was Greninja versus Mario. I was playing Mario, he was playing Greninja. And I don't play that game often. I didn't then and I don't now. I don't particularly enjoy it. But this guy was grinding out. He definitely had like at least triple my time in that game. And he was losing to me. He knew the game better. He was the better player at that game. But he lost to me. And the reason for that is because he didn't have good neutral. Non-stop, time and time again, I consistently came up with interesting and creative ways to outmaneuver my opponent. And it's the same in comedy. Because in comedy, like I said earlier, if your opponent or the person you're talking to knows what you're going to do, they aren't going to be caught off guard. What the fuck? But, as I was saying before, I was caught off guard. Oh god, my computer's loud. Okay. Nobody's going to laugh at a joke that they've heard before, or they can figure out the punchline for before you tell them. Like, for example, why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Laugh. That was hilarious. By definition, a very funny joke. But you've heard it before. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 was a registered 6 offender. See, that you might not have heard before, so you would find it funny. Or you would find it upsetting. Regardless. Comedy is all about trying to find a way to get the other person caught off guard and then capitalizing off of it. That is why a punchline is almost never what you think it is in comedy, unless you have heard it before or you've heard enough punchlines to know where this is going. So, misdirection is an incredibly important part of comedy, as it is with fighting games. And in fighting games, neutral is king. It doesn't matter how good your punish game is, it doesn't matter how good your defensive game is. If you never get into the ability to have your punish game, you're never going to be punished. And if you are always in your defensive game, you're never going to win because you're always in defensive game. You're never going to be able to capitalize off of something by psyching somebody out. So, it really is amazing just how much I have learned about fighting games from comedy itself. Because what I've discovered is, as time goes on and you learn new skills, those new skills become valuable to older skills. Like, for example, some of you might learn how to juggle at some point in your life. And then you'll be like, okay, I know how to juggle. And then you'll learn how to do public speaking. So now you can juggle more and juggle better because now you're not worried about what other people are thinking while they're watching you juggle. So you're not focused on, other people. You're focused on putting on a show and a performance. It's kind of like that. And so the more I learn, the better I become at fighting games. Like, a few months ago when I was, touching Rivals again, I don't know what happened. Something just clicked, and my punish game became a lot better. And I think what it is that I have learned a lot of words of wisdom as time has gone on. I have learned how to do a lot more and stand my ground a lot more, as well as avoiding bad situations that I've already been caught up in before. So, for whatever reason, I am a lot more confident with pursuing my goals. And in Punish Game, if you're not confident in pursuing your goals, you're not going to be confident to get that follow-up hit. You're not going to want to get, a long string of combos going because you don't know how to. So, that's just something interesting that I've been thinking about recently. And I wanted to talk about it before I actually started grinding out fighting games. So yeah, I think today's the 25th. Yep. Today's the 25th, and that means yesterday was the beginning of fall. So from now on, I'm going to be grinding out Rivals after I finish up my little Minecraft stuff. Because I have it all done. It's just a matter of making the episodes now. But anyways, that's all from me. Have fun. Bye.